Everyone, today we are going to solve IGCSE 0580/42 May-June 2019 exam paper. This is paper 4 extended. So let's begin. Question number 1A. The price of a newspaper increased from 0.97 to 1.13. Calculate the percentage increase. Whenever you have percentage increase or decrease, you follow one rule. Put the difference of the two numbers on the top and the original down, the number that was in the starting, the cost price, and multiply by 100. So here 0.97 is our original and it was increased to 1.13. So we'll write the difference as 1.13 minus 0.97 over 0.97 times 100. And you will get 16.49. When we round it, it will be 16.5%. So it's a very easy question. Just remember this formula. The next question looks like a ratio question. Let's read the question. One day, the newspaper had 60 pages of news and advertisements. The ratio number of pages of news to number of pages of advertisements is 5:7. Calculate the number of pages of advertisements. For a question like this, first let's write here news and advertisements. So news is 5 and advertisement is 7. And they want us to find advertisement. So 7 over the total, 5 plus 7, 12. And how many pages were there? 60. So this will give us 35. So that was the number of pages of advertisement. If they wanted us to find news, in place of 7, we will have kept 5. B2, write the number of pages of advertisement as a percentage of the number of pages of news. So the number of pages of advertisement will come on the top, which we found already is 35. And the number of pages of news will be, the total pages were 60. So 60 minus 35 will give us 25. And whenever we have to write as a percentage, we times by 100. So it will give us 140%. In C, on holiday, Maria paid 2.25 euros for the newspaper when the exchange rate was $1 is equal to 0.9416 euros. And at home, Maria paid 1.13 for the newspaper. Calculate the differences price and give your answer in dollars. So we have to change the euro to dollars and then subtract these two. Anytime you have a currency question, write it like this. What currencies we have? We have dollar and euros. $1 is equal to 0.9416. Therefore, 2.25 euros is equal to how much? Cross multiply. 1 times 2.25 is going to be 2.25 and 0.9416x. This is a multiply, so when I bring here, it will become a divide. 0.9416. You will get 2.389. Dollars rounded to 2 decimal place, so 2.39. And this was what she paid in the holiday when she had gone. So now it will be 2.39 subtract 1.13. This is what she paid in her hometown. You will get 1.26. So $1.26 is the difference. D. The number of newspapers sold decreases exponentially by X% each year. Over a period of 21 years, the number of newspapers sold decreases from 1,763,000 to 58,000. Calculate the value of x. So we have been told that the number of newspapers decreased from this number to this number, and the time in years is 21 by x percentage. We'll write down what information has been given to us. If we multiply this by a scale factor and we write the power as 21 because the number of years are 21, we will get this answer. So let's first find k. K to the power of 21 is equal to 58,000 divided by 1763,000. K will equal, k was to the power of 21. When we move the power to the other side, it will become 1 over 21. This gives us 0.849. If you round it, it will become 0.85. K is 0.85. We are talking about percentage here. So 0.85 times 100 is 85%. So it goes reduced by 100 minus 85, 15%. X is equal to 15%. Next question. Every page of the newspaper is a rectangle measuring 43 centimeter by 28 centimeter, both correct to the nearest centimeter. Calculate the upper bound of the area of a page. So upper bound of 43 is going to be 43.5, and upper bound of 28 will be 28.5. You have to first find the upper bound of the length given and the width given to you, and then substitute it in your area. Area of a rectangle is length times width. Therefore, 43.5 times 28.5 will give us 1,239.75 square centimeter. Question number 2 has two parallel lines and an isosceles triangle. So AC is parallel to FBD, and ABC, this ABC, is an isosceles triangle. CBE is a straight line. Find the value of x. Let's see what we can find here. This here is going to be 26. So angle ABF is 26, and the reason being alternate angles are equal. And this and this will be same because it's an isosceles triangle. So this is the first part we did. The second part, angle A plus angle ABC plus angle ACB equals to 180. We can label this as a y, and this is 26 plus 2y is equal to 180. Therefore, 2y is equal to 180 minus 26, and y is equal to 180 minus 26 divided by 2. Therefore, y is equal to 77. We want to find this angle x, and we have found this. You can see it's a vertically opposite angle. Therefore, x is equal to 26 plus 77, which is equal to 103. Okay, in B we have been given a circle And so this is a circle theorem question. The diagram shows a circle with diameter PQ. PQ is here and SPT is a tangent to the circle at P. Find the value of Y. You should be aware of the circle theorems before you solve this question. First thing that we have been given the diameter. So the angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. The angle opposite the diameter is 90 degrees. In this case, this angle here is 90 degrees. The other theorem you should know is that angles in the same segment from a common chord are equal. So if this is 17, even this here will be 17. And because it is 90, this angle here will be 90 minus 17. That is 73. One other thing you should know, we also have this theorem, the angle between a radius and the tangent is 90. So if this is the diameter, this is also going to be the radius here, and this is the tangent. This angle here is equal to 90 degrees. If this is 58, 90 minus 58, it means here we have 32. Now we have a triangle here. So y plus 32 plus 73 is equal to 180. Angle property of a triangle, and when we add this we will get 105 is equal to 180. Therefore y is equal to 180 minus 105, which will give us 75. Y is 75 degrees. Question number 3. The probability that Andrei cycles to school is R. A. Write down in terms of R the probability that Andrei does not cycle to school. Whenever a probability of something happening is given, the probability of that thing not happening is 1 minus that probability. So the probability that he cycles to school is R. Therefore, he does not cycle to school will be 1 minus R. Part B. The probability that Benoit does not cycle to school is 1.3 minus R. The probability that both Andrei and Benoit do not cycle to school is 0.4. When the word and comes in probability, it means we times. So what is the probability of Andrei? 1 minus R. And of Benoit, 1.3 minus R. We have to expand this bracket. We will multiply 1 by 1.3, then 1 by negative 3, and then negative 3 by 1.3 and negative 3 by negative R. So let's start 1.3 minus R. Negative and negative will become positive, is equal to 0.4. Let's write it in a nice way. This are like terms, so negative 1R and negative 1.3 will give us negative 2.3R plus 1.3, 0.4, we bring this side, it will become negative. So we got R squared minus 2.3R plus 0.9 is equal to 0. They want us to write it in this form. You see there are no decimals and we have got decimals here. So multiply the whole equation by 10. We'll get 10R squared minus 23R plus 9 is equal to 0. So we got what they wanted us to get. So this question we have to solve by factorization. When we are solving by factorization, we should know that this is A, Part 3. Solve by factorization. 10r square minus 23r plus 9 is equal to 0. So this is a, b, and c. In factorization, we have to times a by c, and the answer we get, the factors of a, c, should equal to b when you add them. So 10 times 9 is 90 and b is negative 23. Write down all the factors of 90. 1 by 90. 2 multiplied by 45 will give you 90. Divide 90 by 2, you will get 45. Divide 90 by 3, you will get 13. 90 is not in 4 times table. It's in 5 times table. 5 times 17 will give you, 18 will give you 90. You can see that 5 times 18, if you add it, you get 23. So if we make both of them negative, we got our factors. We can write this as 10r square. In place of negative 23, we will write negative 5r minus 18r plus 9 is equal to 0. What is common here? 5r. What is remaining? 2r minus 1. You should have the same factor here, 2r minus 1. The number before this bracket, you can divide the number here, negative 18 divided by 2, negative 9. So you have 2r minus 1 and 5r minus 9 is equal to 0. Therefore, 2r minus 1 is equal to 0 and r is half, or 5r minus 9 is equal to 0 and r is equal to 9. If you don't understand how to factorize, you can use the calculator mode 33 and you can put in the calculator and you will get this answer. R is equal to half and R is equal to 9 over 5. So if you bring the 2 here, it will become 2R. And the 1 when you bring here, it will become negative 1. This 5 when you bring here, it will become 5R. And the 9 will be negative 9. So you can do this way also, but you might lose a mark here when you skip this step here. So try to learn to factorize, but if you find it difficult, at least do this step so that you get your full marks. Not full marks, but at least some marks. Next question. Find the probability that Benoit does not cycle to school. The probability that Benoit does not cycle to school is 1.3 minus r. So we'll replace the r with the numbers that we have got and we'll see what do we get. 1.3 minus 9 over 5 will give us negative half. We cannot have a probability that is negative. So that's a wrong answer. Let's try the other one. 1.3 minus half is 0.8. So that is our answer. 4a. The equation of a straight line is 2y is equal to 3x plus 4. Write the equation in the form y is equal to mx plus c, where m is your gradient. So y is equal to 3 over 2x plus 4 over 2. So 3 over 2x plus 2. We can see that our gradient is 3 over 2, or we can write it as 1.5. Find the coordinates of the point where the line crosses the y-axis. When it crosses the y-axis, this is the point. And here your x is going to be 0 and your y will be your c. So x is 0 and y is 2. We already found our y-intercept here. Part B. The diagram shows a straight line. So a straight line has been given to us and we have to find the equation of line A. For finding the equation of line A, we need to have 2 points. So we need 2 points, we need the gradient, and then we have to write it in the form y is equal to mx plus c and find c. Always try to choose a point on the y-axis and the x-axis as it becomes easier to solve. So I'm choosing 0, 6 and 3, 0. To find the gradient, we use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 6 minus 0 over 0 minus 3. And this will give us negative 2. We found the gradient, we have the x and the y. Now we will substitute in this equation y is equal to mx plus c. I'm going to use this point here because my x is 0, it becomes easier to solve. And I'm going to use my gradient negative 2. So y is 6, m is negative 2, and x is 0. Therefore, my c is 6. So y is equal to negative 2x plus c. That is the equation of line L. In part 2, find the equation of the line perpendicular to line L that passes through line 3. If a line is perpendicular, it means that your gradient changes. Your gradient will be negative 1 over m. So if your gradient here is negative 2, your perpendicular gradient will be negative 1 over negative 2, which will become half. And now we'll substitute it in y is equal to mx plus c. This is my x and my y. Three is equal to 9 over 2 plus c. 3 minus 9 over 2 is equal to c. So negative 1.5 is your c. Therefore, y is equal to, I'm going to use this gradient, 0.5 x minus 1.5. Another way to understand about the gradient and the perpendicular line is that suppose you have the gradient 2 and your perpendicular gradient will be negative 1 over 2. If you have negative 3 over 5, the perpendicular gradient will be 5 over 3. You see, we change the signs and we flip the numbers. The denominator number comes up and the numerator goes down. Here it was 2 and 1. If there is 1, we don't write it. So this is one way you can find it. Also remember, if two lines are parallel, the gradients are going to be same. Next question. We have been given 2 points A and B, and we have to calculate the length of AB. You need to learn the formula and memorize it. The distance or the length formula, which is given by square root x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. It does not make a difference if I make this x1 or this x1. But if I make 8 as x1, my y1 will be 5. I cannot take this as x1 and this as y1. So we'll just substitute here and that's it. So 8 minus minus 4, be careful with the sign, plus 5 minus 1 square, put it in a calculator, you will get 12.649. We'll round it to one decimal place. So 12.6 is the length of AB. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. Again, you need to know your formula. That is, midpoint is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. This will give us our x coordinate and this will give us our y coordinate. So 8 plus minus 4 divided by 2 and 5 plus 1 divided by 2. we'll get 2 and 3. So the coordinates of the midpoint of AB are 2 and 3. We have been given an equation in question 5, and we have to write the values of y when x is 0.2, 1 and 2. A very easy 3 mark. Just replace the x with 0.2 and you will get 2.45. When you replace 1, you will get 0.25. And when you replace 2, you will get negative 0.25. In part B, we have to plot the points here and make a smooth curve. Let's just zoom in a little bit so we understand what does the line mean. We have 0.5 here. This is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and 0.4. So we have to plot these points. When x is 0.15, so this is going to be 0.15 here. When x is 0.15, y is 3.3. This is 3, so 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. Now you plot the point there. So 3.30 is here. Same way we are going to plot all the points. And once we are done, now we have to make a graph and join all the points together. So this is how your graph is going to look like. See, use your graph to solve the equation 1 over 2x minus x4 is equal to half. This half is your y value. So we have to draw a line at y when y is equal to half. Y is equal to half is here. So we'll draw a line at y is equal to half. And we have to find the x point. So x is 0.75. If you have the answer between 0.7 to 0.78, you will get your full mark. Next question. On the grid, draw the line y is equal to 2 minus x. So here y is equal to 2 minus x. When x is 0, what is the value of y? Y is equal to 2 minus 0, so y is 2. So we found one point to plot 0 and 2. And then we will do when y is equal to 0. When y is equal to 0, x is 2. So we got 2 and 0. Let's plot this point. 2 and 0 and 0 and 2. Now we have to join this line here. So we plotted the line. In D2, we have to find the x coordinate of the points where the line crosses the graph of y is equal to half, 1 over 2x minus x4. So these are the 2 points where they intersect. X is equal to 0.27 and x is equal to 0.2. So these are the 2 points where they meet. I have to find the x coordinate. It's somewhere here. It will be around x is equal to 0.27 or 0.28, and the other coordinate is x is equal to x is equal to 2.38 or 2.39. You have to write to 2 decimal place. Part E. Show that the graph of y is equal to 1 over 2x minus x over 4 can be used to find the value of square root 2. We will replace the x with square root 2 and see what we get. So y is equal to 1 over 2 square root 2 minus square root 2 over 4. And you will get that y is equal to 0. Now, to prove it algebraically, we have 0 is equal to 1 over 2x minus x over 4. We need to have a common denominator. So I will multiply by x here. If I multiply by x here, I have to multiply by x on the top also, and by 2 here. So I have 2 here. Therefore, 0 is equal to 2 minus x square over 4x. 4x times 0 will be 0, and we are left with 2 minus x square. X square is equal to 2, therefore x is equal to square root 2. We showed from the graph that when x is square root 2, y is 0. 6a. Expand and simplify. So when you expand, it will be x square, x multiplied by negative 3, negative 3x plus 7x minus 21. These are the like terms, we'll add them together. So x square plus 4x minus 21 is our answer. In 6b, they want us to factorize. If you understand it, then that's fine, or I'll just show you for children who don't understand. So we write 15pp q. Because it's a square, it means 2 times, minus 25 q, and q. Make a bracket, put a negative in the middle. Do you have any p here? You don't, so the p square will remain the same. And you have 2 q's here and 3 q's here. We'll cancel out the 2 q's from both the sides. So how many q remaining? 1 q. And the 2 q's that we cancelled out, we'll write it out, q square. Now 15 and 25. 5 times 3 is 15 and 5 times 5 is 25. So what is common here? 5. And that 5 we will put outside the bracket. And the 3 which is remaining we'll put here, and the 5. So our answer is 5p square bracket 3p square minus 5q. To factorize this, we'll break it into 2 parts. And we'll remove the common terms out. You have 4fg and 6gh. You know that 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 3 is 6. So 2 is common, we remove that out, and we'll be left with 2 and 3 here. And then g is common, so the g goes out. So 2f plus 3h will remain in the bracket. Write 2f plus 3h again. This bracket and this bracket must be same when you're factorizing. If it's not the same, then there's a problem in your factorization. Divide this term by 2f and you will get 10 divided by 2, 5. The f gets cancelled out. K is remaining. The terms which are in the bracket, we are going to write it as one term. 2f plus 3h as one bracket. And what is outside, we'll combine them and form a new bracket. So 2g plus 5k. The next question. You can see that 81 is a square number and k and m are also squared. So 81 we will write it as 9 square. This can be written as 9k square minus m square. You have to use the difference of squares identity, which tells us a square minus b square is equal to a minus b and a plus b. In this case, 9k is our a, so 9k minus m and 9k plus m. In part C, we have to solve the equation. It is for 4 marks. It's not a very difficult question. It's quite easy, in fact. Whenever you have something in the denominator that you don't want, multiply the whole equation by that term. So we have 5 here. We'll multiply by 5 everything. 5 times 3, 15. And x plus 2 times 5 over 5 is equal to 6 times 5, 30. This 5 gets cancelled and we will get, now we are going to expand this bracket here, 15x minus 60 plus x plus 2 is equal to 30. Add the like terms together, 16x negative 58 is equal to 30. Negative 58, when we move it to the other side, will become positive 58. So we got 88 and divide by 16. 88 divided by 16 is 5.5. So that's our answer here. 7a. Show that each interior angle of a regular pentagon is 108. We have a formula to find that. And that formula is n minus 2 bracket multiply by 180 divided by n. N is the number of sides. In a regular pentagon, we have 5 sides. So each interior angle will equal to 5 minus 2 times 180 divided by 5. And that will give us 108 degrees. In part B, we have been given a pentagon inside a circle and there's a triangle. And it's a regular pentagon, so all sides are same. The vertices of the pentagon lie on a circle, center or radius 12 centimeter. M is the midpoint of BC. So M is the midpoint of BC. It means it divides BC into 2 equal parts. BM is equal to MC. First question, find BM. First, let's write down what has been given to us. The radius is 12 centimeter and it's a regular pentagon. So each interior angle is equal to 108. We saw that in part A. 108 divided by 2 will give us 54. So this angle here is 54. The radius divides the angles into 2 equal parts. Draw a straight line here. That's the perpendicular bisector. Is the same as OM. Let's name it X. The reason we are doing this is to find AX. And AX is going to be the same length as BM. To do so, we'll use trigonometry. What has been given to us? We have an angle. We want the adjacent. We want the adjacent and the hypotenuse is given to us. So, cos. Cos 54 is equal to AX over 12. Cos 54 times 12 is AX and that will give us 7.05 rounded to 2 decimal place. We already know that AX is equal to BM. So the side BM is 7.05. Part 2. OMX and ABX are straight lines. So OMX and ABX are straight line. Find BX. We have to find this part here. What can we see? And in part 2, OMX and ABX are straight lines. Find BX. Let's write down the information that we have. We know that BM here is 7.05. This is a right angle. So the side is 7.5. The angle from part A, we know this is 108. So this angle here will be 180 minus 108, which is 72 degrees. So let's just draw it neatly here. So basically you have 7.05. This is M, B, and X. The angle B is 72. And you want to find this part. So that is the hypotenuse. Again, the adjacent has been given to you. You need to find the hypotenuse, and you have the angle 72. So it's going to be cos 72 is equal to 7.05 over bx. Therefore, bx is equal to 7.05 divided by cos 72, and the answer you get is, when you round it to 1 decimal place, it will be 22.8 centimeters. In part B, we are supposed to calculate the area of triangle AOX. So this is the area you need to find. As it is not a right angle triangle, we cannot use half times base times height. We have to use another formula, which is half AB sine C. A and B are your sides, and sine C is your included angle. From the diagram, we know that this side is 12, so half times 12. And we already found this side here, which is 7.05. And this is the same as this side here, so plus 7.05. Plus you found bx, which was 22.8. So we are going to add all of them together. Plus 7.05 plus 22.8. Multiply by the included angle. Which is the included angle? 54. So sine 54. And when you put this whole thing in the calculator, you will get 178.6. Rounding it to 3 figures, we'll get 178 square centimeter. So we are done with this question here. 8a shows two triangles ADB and DBC. And they have given that AD is 16.5, BD is 12.4, angle ADB is 64, angle BDC is 53, and angle DBC is 95. We have to find the side AB. When two sides and one angle is given, we use the cos rule. This is the cosine rule. If you want to find A, you must have the angle opposite it. So if I want to find AB, I must have angle D, which I have been given. You just have to memorize the rule. It's very easy. Once you know the rule, you just have to substitute everything. So we can also write AB is equal to square root of the two sides, which is 16.5 square plus 12.4 square minus 2 times 16.5 and 12.4 cos 64. Put this in the calculator to get your answer. We will get 15.7 centimeter. Whatever you get, keep writing it, so maybe you might need it later. 15.7 centimeter. In part 2, we have to find BC. So we have to find BC, two angles and one side is given. If two angles is given and you want to find the third side, you will do 180 minus the other two angles. You know the sum property of a triangle, that all the angles, when you add it, equals to 180. So minus 53 plus 95 is 32. Now we have got this as 32. We have to use the sine rule here to find BC. Okay, so to find the side, we are going to use A over sine A is equal to B over sine B is equal to C over sine C. To find the angle, we just flip these over and use it. So BC over the angle opposite BC is what? This is BC, so the angle opposite is at 53. We'll write sine 53 is equal to 12.4, that is the side which we have, and the angle opposite this side is 32. So sine 32. We want to find BC, so we have to leave BC alone. We will cross multiply. This sine 53 when I bring to the other side will become a multiply. You just have to put it in the calculator and you will get the answer. We'll get 18.68. We'll round it to one decimal. It will become 18.7 centimeter. These questions carry more marks. You just need to know your sine and cosine formulas. Part B. The diagram shows a sector of a circle of radius 3.8 centimeter. The arc length is 7.7. Calculate the value of phi. We can use this formula theta over 360 times 2 pi r is equal to the arc length. Now in this case the arc length is given to us, but our theta is y. So y over 360 into 2 pi and r is 3.8 is equal to 7.7. We can write as y is equal to 7.7. Whenever you have something like this, it's all multiply and divide. Whatever is in the denominator, when you bring to the other side, it will become multiply. So 7.7 multiplied by 360, and whatever is in the numerator will become the denominator. So I will divide by 2 pi times 3.8. Put this whole thing in the calculator and you will get 116.08 something, and you can round it to 116.1 degrees. So y is 116.1 degrees. In the second part, we are asked to calculate the area of the sector. To find the area of the sector, we will use this formula theta over 360 times pi r square. We already found our y, which is 116.1. So 116.1 over 360 times pi into radius, which is 3.8 square. And we will get 14.61. When we round it, it will be 14.6 square centimeter. Question number 9. 100 students were each asked how much money, M dollars, they spent in 1 week. The frequency table shows the results. And we have been given the amount in group data and the frequency is given here. Calculate an estimate of the mean. It's a 4-mark question and very easy 4-mark question and a very repeated question. Find the midpoint of each class width. Add them together, the numbers 0 plus 5 divide by 2, 5 plus 10 divide by 2, 10 plus 20 divide by 2. You do that for each one and that's how we will get 20 plus 30 divided by 2 and 30 plus 50 divided by 2. Then you multiply the midpoint with the frequency. 2.5 multiplied by 16, 40. 7.5 multiplied by 38, 285. 15 multiplied by 30, 450. 25 multiplied by 9, and 40 multiplied by 7. To find the mean, we have to do the sum of frequency multiplied by the midpoint over the total number of frequency. So we are going to add all of these numbers that we got and divide by 100. 100 because there are 100 number of students. And the answer is $12.8. Part B. Complete the cumulative frequency table below. We start with 16. Cumulative frequency table is very easy to complete. You just have to add the next number and write the total here. So 16 plus 38 will give us 54. Then 54 plus 30, 84, and 84 plus 9, 93, and 93 plus 7, 100. Part C. On the grid, draw the cumulative frequency diagram. So we have to plot these points here. When it is 5, it is 16. So 5 is here. 10, 16 is going to be here. When it's 10, it's 54. 20, it is 84. And 30 is 93. 93. And 50 is 100. So we have to plot this graph here. In D, use your cumulative frequency diagram to find an estimate for the median. To find the median, we divide the frequency by 2. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. This 50 is your position on the y-axis. That's not your answer. So now we will look where is 50 on the y-axis. It's here and it cuts the graph here. And the answer is on the x-axis, 9.8. D2, we have to find the interquartile range. To find the interquartile range, we will need the upper quartile and the lower quartile. And then interquartile range is equal to upper quartile minus lower quartile. To find the upper quartile, the formula is 3/4 or 3 over 4 of 100. So 3/4 of 100 of means multiply. This will give us 75. For lower quartile, we'll do 1/4 of 100. That will give us 25. Both these are your position on y-axis. And you have to find the corresponding x value. I have marked the lower quartile and the upper quartile here. This is your lower quartile at 25 and this is your upper quartile at 75. The corresponding x value we get here is 6 and the corresponding x value we get here is 16. Therefore, interquartile range is going to be 16 minus 6, which is 10. If you have the answer between the range of 8.5 to 11.5, it will be marked right. D3. The number of students who spend more than $25. So the amount is on the x-axis and 25 is here. So we mark it and we look at the corresponding y value. It's 88. Therefore, the number of students who spend more than $25 are, total frequency is 100. 100 minus 88, you will get 12. If you get the answer in the range of 10, 11 or 12, again you will get your marks for it. Moving on to the next question. The volume of a solid metal sphere is 24,430 cubic centimeter. Calculate the radius of the sphere, and volume is also given to us, so we have to make R the subject. Volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi R cube. So 24430 is equal to 4 over 3 pi R cube. Whenever you want to make the subject, question. The volume of a solid metal sphere is 24,430 cubic centimeter. 1. Calculate the radius of the sphere. The volume is already given to us. We have to substitute the volume and make R the subject. So you can make R the subject from before. Let's do that. You have volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi R cube. The 3 in the denominator will go to the other side. It will become 3 times V is equal to 4 pi R cube. We don't want 4 pi here, so it's a multiply. When we bring to the other side, it will become a divide. Make R the subject, so it is 3V 4 over pi. This is cube, so this will become cube root. So our R is equal to 3V over 4 pi bracket to the power of 1 over 3. Now we just have to replace the volume. 24430 over 4 pi, and the answer we will cube root, and this will give us 18 centimeter. So radius is 18 centimeter. Part 2. The metal sphere is placed in an empty tank. The tank is a cylinder with radius 50 centimeter, standing on its circular base. Water is poured into the tank to the depth of 60 centimeter. Calculate the number of liters of water needed. So we have the cylinder with us and we put the metal sphere in it. The radius of this cylinder is 50 centimeter and the height is 60 centimeter. We have to find the volume of the cylinder by using volume is equal to pi r square h. And we have got the r and we have got the h. So we will get pi times 50 square multiplied by 60. We'll get this answer, put it as a decimal. So you have got 471,238.9. This is the volume of the cylinder with this height. Now that you're placing the metal ball in it, how much more water will you need? So we'll subtract the volume of the sphere. In part 1, we have been told that the volume of the sphere is 24,430. So volume of the cylinder minus the volume of the sphere will give us 446,808.9 cubic centimeter. This is cubic centimeter. To convert it into liters, because our question wants it in liters. This is liter, this is cubic centimeter. 1 liter is equal to 1000 cubic centimeter. Therefore, 446,808.9 cubic centimeter is equal to how many liters? Cross multiply, so it will be x is equal to divided by 1000, and we will get the liter The number of liters the water is needed is 446 liters. Sorry, if we round it, it will become 447 liters. You can have an answer between 447 to 446.9, and your answer will be accepted. Moving on to the next question. A different tank is a cuboid measuring 1.8 meter by 1.5 meter by 1.2 meter. Water flows from a pipe into this empty tank at a rate of 200 cubic centimeter per second. Find the time it takes to fill the tank. Give your answer in hours and minutes. First, you can see that this is 200 cubic centimeter and the dimensions given to us are in meters. So change it to centimeter. To do that, we'll multiply by 100. So 1.8 multiplied by 100 will give us 180, and 1.5 will give us 150. 1.2 multiplied by 100, 120. This is our volume. And this will give us 3,240,000 cubic centimeter. Now to find the time, we divide the volume we found by the speed given to us. And we will get 16200. But this was in seconds. So this is seconds. To change into hours and minutes, we are going to divide by 60 because hours and minutes, and this will give us 4.5 hours. So we have 4 hours and 0.5 means 30 minutes. So it takes 4 hours and 30 minutes to fill the tank. Next question. Two shapes have been given to us and the areas have been given. Let's read the question. The diagram shows two mathematically similar shapes with areas 295 square centimeter and 159.5 square centimeter. Calculate the width of the smaller shape. Whenever you have a similar shape question, so you write down the area which has been given to you, 295, multiply by the scale factor. We don't know the scale factor, but let's say it is k. Because it is area, we have to square the scale factor. And when we do that, we will get the area of the smaller shape, which is 159.5. So k is equal to 159.5 over 295, and the square that which we had with the k will become the square root. When you put this in the calculator, you will get a decimal. So it's better to leave it the same way, don't change it. And then we have to find the width of the smaller shape. So 17 times k, which is 159.5 over 295 to the power of half, will give us 12.5. So the width of the smaller shape is 12.5 centimeter. Question number 11 is a sequence question, and we have been asked to complete this diagram. This is number of small lines. We can see that 4 plus 6 gives us 10. And 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 plus 10, 28. 28 plus 12, 40. And now we'll add 2 again. So 12 plus 2 is 14. So 40 plus 14, 54. For number of dots, we can see that 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 5, 13. 13 plus 6, 19. Every time we are adding 1. Therefore, it will be 19 plus 7, 26. 26 plus 8, 34. In part B for diagram N, find an expression in terms of N for the number of small lines. So these are the number of small lines and we have to find an expression. This is not a constant expression, so it's not an arithmetic sequence. You have one difference and then you have a second difference. So each time we are adding plus 2. 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 2, 12, 12 plus 2, 14. So this is a case of quadratic equation. For that you have a formula. To find the nth term of a quadratic sequence, we use this formula given here. We need to find A, B and C. To find A, we will write 2A is equal to the second difference. What is our second difference? 2. So 2A is equal to 2. A is equal to 2 divided by 2, 1. To find B, we will use 3A plus B is equal to the first difference, which is 6. Replace the A with 1. So 3 plus B is equal to 6 and B is equal to 6 minus 3, which is 3. And to find C, we will use A plus B plus C equal to the first term. Replace the A with 1 and B with 3. 4 plus C is equal to 4. Therefore, C is equal to 4 minus 4, which is 0. Now write down n square plus n. What is the number before n square? A, it is 1. And what is before n? B, it is 3. C is a 0, no need to write it. But we don't usually write 1, we will just write as n square plus 3n. So we found the expression in terms of n for the number of small lines. Diagram R has 10,300 small lines. Find the value of R. So you have to use this formula here. Replace the n with 3. So R square plus 3R is equal to 10,300. Bring it to one side. R square plus 3R minus 10,300 is equal to 0. Use a calculator and put the expression in the calculator. To factorize, you can use, depending on the calculator, mode 3 or mode 5 and you will get R is equal to 100 and R is equal to negative 103. You got the values here, but you have to write it as a factor. So if it's a positive, you have to write negative. So R minus 100 bracket R plus 103 is equal to 0. Therefore, R is equal to 100 and R is equal to negative 103. The diagram cannot be negative, so this is rejected. R is equal to 100. In D, the number of dots in diagram N is an squared plus bn plus 1. Find the value of A and the value of B. So this table has been given to us. When n is 1, the number of dots are 4. When n is 2, the number of dots are 8. So we'll replace the n here and make it equal to the number of dots. So when n is 1 plus 1 is equal to 4. A plus B is equal to 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3. A plus B is equal to 3. This is your first equation. When n is 2, so we replace the n by 2. What do we have? We've got 8. So 4a plus 2b is equal to 8 minus 1. 4a plus 2b is equal to 7. At this point, you can solve the simultaneous equation by Substitution or elimination? I'll be doing the substitution method. So I'll make b the subject. B is equal to 3 minus a. I'll replace this b by 3 minus a is equal to 7. 4a minus 2a will give me 2a. 7 minus 6 is 1. A is equal to half. To find b, in place of a, I'll put half. And you will get 5 over 2. So a is half and b is 5 over 2. Kindly subscribe to my channel and like the video. And please do share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.